Hey guys, it's the History Nerd, and we are back with another exciting episode of Crusader Kings 2, Habsburg Millennium. Looks like the Holy Roman Empire is going to war for Luxembourg. Where we last left off, there was, I think, a host invasion, if I'm correct. There was a host invasion, but Venice is also looking like they're getting involved in some kind of trade war with Genoa. And I think we're still working on getting that nice claim. But I imagine we're gonna get it, one of these days. I also would imagine we'll get a child one of these days as well. I hope anyway. Because none of my sisters have done a very good job of having Habsburg children. In fact, the eldest sister, I don't think, had a Habsburg, or it would have had a Habsburg at all, She was just married to the king of Spain, who then died childless. Thankfully, I guess. I mean, I wouldn't want to have another family's name in our succession tree, because that would end the game, and that would not be good. I'm rambling. It's apparent to me. We're good in Habsburg, but we're going to take a look at Argyle. We're building up the jousting list and then the training grounds. And yeah, pretty much the same as last episode. We're just kind of waiting for stuff to happen. Which, doesn't necessarily make for the most exciting series. I'm not going to deny that. But hopefully there's at least a little bit of entertainment going on here that you guys are enjoying. And that is really a lot of pretty much all the filler. I do also apologize for the lack of videos these past few days. I, on a whim, and as a late birthday present to myself, bought into the early access for Master of Orion. Mainly thanks to all the videos I saw on YouTube, because these are an effective marketing tool. Who knew? So anyway, the game itself, Master of Orion, is... I don't want to build a war chest, because we gotta save up, 700 gold? Oh no, just 500, because we're a duke. How much... 275. Yeah, we're gonna hold off on selecting a focus just because I want to get Argyle built up. I think that makes sense. So what do we need to do for you? You need an education focus, my young, fussy, affectionate, curious kinswoman. I would say stewardship looks to be the best. Indolent and haughty. She's not that. She is she's not. She's brooding. Well, that doesn't work. Oh, wait. No. Learn to read, history nerd. Okay. Timid, affectionate, and curious. She'll make a great diplomat. Perfect. So yeah, anyway. Moo. I don't even know what to call it. Moo reboot? Moo 4? Moo 3? Because apparently Moo 3 never happened. The new Master of Orion. It's a 4X game, so it's different from the Paradox games, obviously. So it's a true, turn-based, sort of civvy type thing going on. It's still in early access. I'm not recommending getting it now. But... for all the complaints online that people are making, and this is going to happen in any game, especially in early access, because people feel like they've got a chance to add into the development of it. It actually, a lot of the Space 4X games I've played recently, I'm going off in kind of a tangent here, I'm sorry. We'll deal with the game in between my ranting. So we're going to get my uncle and my sister to just, try and get along, have some good times there. So anyway, oh yeah, we'll go to the feast in Luxembourg. I like it. He conquers Luxembourg and then he moves the capital to there. Dude's a pimp. So Galactic Civilizations 3, Stargrind, like all of those 4X games that have come out over the past couple of years. I mean, it's been nice because there hasn't been a lot in the way of 4X space strategy games. Like, there was a lull there where it was basically Galactic Civilizations 2 was the only thing. Well, that's weird. Playful gives you a boost to diplomacy, but apparently it's a trait that will do better. So we will just have you go for diplomatic education as well. The feast is over, but we gain a little bit of prestige. Nobody can put, you know, wine and food away like the Shadow can. I love that. So a lot of those 4X games have been missing personality. And this game has it. I don't know if it's the voice acting, which is, at first when I heard that, I was like, that just seems like a waste of money. Not like Wargaming's got to worry about wasting money, because they got bank. They got their World of Whatever bank. So, you know, it was just like, kind of like, oh, okay, so. See you, Valerie. My mother. Oh. And our ties to the Byzantine Empire have passed on. But we do have a claim on the Byzantine Empire. We are in no position to press that, I don't think. Probably not. And that goes well outside of the scope of what I want. I can't even fight France, let alone the Byzantine Empire, although the French have... Anyway, the voice acting and the personality, it's there. It's in the game. You can feel it. The races visually feel a little bit different. There's still not a lot in the way of, like, tech differences between the two groups, or different, like, racial bonuses or things like that. I mean, they haven't even implemented espionage in the game, so it's still pretty bare bones. But it took, like I bought it Friday night, and I don't do this as much as I used to, but every now and then I'll still occasionally have rather long gaming sessions, and Friday night was no exception. Because it's a space game, obviously I turned off the lights, and I didn't notice what time it was until the sun came out. So it's a good game. It scratches all the right itches. It just needs a heck of a lot of work. Anyway, this intro has gone on far too long. Do we still have? No, we went to family. Good. I want to focus on getting a family. I'm probably, once we get a couple kids, gonna switch back to spying, because my greatest counselor and advisor, Orko, has suggested I'm just not aggressive enough, and I will freely admit that I'm a very pacifist player when it comes to these types of games, especially when I'm trying to focus on staying small. So we'll go back to that. I'll play around with it, because what got me interested is if I can convince the wise Duke of Dauphine here to maybe perhaps get kind of, I don't know, a revolution going on in France, then... Oh, Rudolph. You're not getting that county. Then we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Worst throwaway line ever. We'll hopefully, you know, can get the Duke of Dauphine for ourselves, which would be pretty good. In the meantime, though, we're waiting on... Oh, no, we're not waiting on nice. Oh, you idiot. Okay. 6... Oh, well, we just got a month to wait. We can get Rudolph out, you know, fabricating claims on nice. And, hopefully continue our expansion south. And again, taking a look at this, we got some serious border war going on, especially in relations to France, which I hope to resolve. We'll see. But we can definitely clean up the border in Italy as well. Young Ilsa has finished her education in the ways of war. I notice with pride that she has attained nothing less than a masterful level of knowledge. Well, isn't that just lovely? You are betrothed to some Italian guy. That's fine, because you're not in my family anyway. So she can do whatever she wants. We need a new commander. So Emmerich, there you go. And again, well, we at least have good commanders for one army, provided I can actually field them. So that's good. Let's get you fabricating a claim on nice. And I'm going to be back when I got something exciting to share with you guys. See you in a bit. So nothing too crazy, but we do have an anti-pope set up by the King of France, Aquitaine, Anatolia, and Andalusia. All the same person. So let's go take a look at the anti-pope. I guess we can't see the anti-pope? I'm guessing not. He should be a vassal in here, though, so let's see. Pope. I don't see him. I'm sure there's a way. But anyway, so yeah, there's two popes now, which is, I guess, that is in itself a little bit interesting. We almost got the training grounds done in Argau, and then we'll just continue building up whatever we can. So that's that. See you guys in a bit. And my darling countess wife is pregnant. Huzzah! Let the Habsburg line interrupt me with a hiccup. We also got Ermela, another kinswoman. She's we'll go with etiquette. Let's train some courtiers to be real courtiers, you know what I'm saying? Just work on that. Almost done the training grounds. And our military is, it's looking like our personal military. Our own domain military is looking pretty good. We could look at maybe doing something with these lands down here. What I wish I could do is go to like a jihad for Africa. That's really not a concern of ours. If I could go to the Count of Burgon here and just be like, listen. It turned out less well than expected. Did it? Well, that's fine. He's not mine and he's not married to mine, so that's fine. Yeah, I wish I could go to this count here and just say like, Ferdinand, my friend, I see you're depressed. Maybe a change of climate would be good for you. I'm gonna give you the county of Saluzzo. In return, you're gonna give me the county of Burgon. I wish that was like a possible way to do things. But as far as I know, you can't do that. Like, I mean, not directly. Like, I suppose I could give him Saluzzo and then take Burgon from him. Right? It'll piss him off, and the other vassals won't like it. That's the problem I've got. Because really, in my head, and this probably isn't backed up by medieval law of any sort of precedent, any sort of legal medieval precedent. There we go. That's how I should have phrased that. We'll go with the improved fortifications, actually. We'll get those up to level 2. Because technically I'm not taking anything away from him. I'm just moving his power base south. Granted, to a much smaller county. But what is he doing? What is he doing with Burgon? Nothing. It should be my land. Anyway, that's just my daily, considerations. Alright, so we got a daughter, which is fine. That's, I'm not complaining about having a daughter. If there is a god, why is the world filled with hardship, grief, and heretics? Let's take a look at our character. He's a flamboyant schemer who's content, charitable, and deceitful. I don't think he's the type to all of a sudden turn zealous. He's not exactly what you would say religiously educated, and let's be honest, cynical is just going to be a trait that just suits me better. I didn't get it. So all of that musing was moot, but, it was still important to do. It was important to go through that and figure out just what exactly the Shadow would want. Because it's all about the roleplay, guys. That's Crusader Kings 2 in a nutshell. At least for me it is. So, you know. Ah, Rudolph, man, you are a good diplomat. What has taken you so long? I'm fabricating a claim down here. It's just, I don't get it. I don't understand. We need some childhood focus for another Habsburg. Looks like she's quite the religious leaning. I mean, she's 5, and she understands theology basically at the same level as I do. That's what I take this trait as, anyway. I don't necessarily know if that is how I should be looking at it, but that is how I'm looking at it. Next up, we can't afford a second round of jousting lists, which is fine. Honestly, I mean, we're making 11 ducats a month, but I wouldn't mind making a little bit more ducats a month than that, but it's probably a better idea to get something like another training ground done. And we can take a look at our retinues and see we can have 2,000 retinues. Now, the cost of these things, in my head anyway, don't make sense. When these were originally introduced, that meant 2,000 men, not 2,000 points. And so, like, as you can see, a shock retinue is 700 cap points, whereas a knight retinue is 1,200. So, perfect. We got another Habsburg. That's lovely. You know, 250 extra horses, which is basically all I can have, right? This is going to be, what, 12? So I can have 2. That's 500 units. It's still not a lot. The lack of piety I've observed in one of my courtiers makes me worried. I wouldn't want to accuse anyone of not being a good Christian, but if my suspicions are correct, then something needs to be done. I could go and confront my lesbian sister about her faith in the Catholic Church, or I could expose the courtier. Wait a second. But that's 2 different people. So, in this case, I would much rather just throw my brother-in-law under the bus. Or I guess under the cart. Buses aren't around yet. Oh, we got a little bit of a rebellion in France. It's spread out, but it is not big enough to take them down. That is a shame. So yeah, with the I mean, I guess we could, you know, plop down 2 of those guys, but it doesn't really feel like it would actually add enough of a military punch. Please support me by voting with me in the council. Do you like me? Sure, okay. Aaron Fried, the good, we'll support you. It's always good to have your liege owing you a favor. I mean, it's better when your liege owes you a favor and you want something. I don't particularly want anything my liege can give me. Unless he's got a claim on nice he could just hand over to me. Oh my, okay, let's see. The Lords of the Holy Roman Empire have approved the institution of the Ruler Title Revocation Sovereignty Law, okay? And King Philip has voted, obviously, because of the favors. Fingers of St. John the Baptist. Discount price for boxes of 10. A bishop brings to your attention that false relics are being sold at the market at great profits. They do, of course, generate a lot of commerce and taxes, but still, it's rather immoral and blasphemous. I'm just gonna put this out there. If you're purchasing Fingers of St. John the Baptist from someone who's selling them in discount prices for boxes of 10, and he has more than 1 box of 10 Fingers of St. John the Baptist, that should be your first red flag that this guy isn't selling the real deal. We could crack down on the criminals. A little bit of piety for a cost of ducats, that makes no sense to me. We could leave them be, and the temple vassals will just be like, that wasn't very smart of you. Or we can actually just say, we should get in on this business, and I'm thinking the Shadow is going to get in on this business. He's not greedy, but I really, 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 really want that cynical trade. And 30 extra ducats, that's not bad. So we got greedy, and not Cynical. So we should, at the very least, we should be making a bit more money. So, perfect. We got the claim on nice. That is lovely. I'm not going to press for it yet. Budget deficit. Why? Oh, probably to pay for the... Yeah. I'm on the trolley now. I understand what happened. I'm obviously not going to press the claim now. Because Hugh's host is still kicking around. And he hasn't really ended... This is really confusing for me because it looks like we've got a Genoese. There we go. It took me a while to figure that out. We got a tiny little Genoese army there. I don't see the host anywhere. So where are you currently? You're leading troops in the middle of France. Are you at war with France as well? You're only at war with Genoa. So I don't understand why you're leading troops in France. That's fine. Just end the war quickly, please. One of you two. Luitpold has dragged his unfaithful spouse, Frederica, before me and insists that I should punish her. It's really a waste of my time. I got a budget deficit. I can't be worrying about unfaithful spouses. The non-aggression pact between people have been dissolved. We got the Duchy of Baden created, which might actually, let's just see here, de jure duchies. The Duchy of Baden would be close. I wouldn't be opposed to that. But I'm not going to pursue it. South, we need a port. There are two peasant families in Argau who have been locked in a bitter feud for generations. This conflict has now escalated to the point where it is even discussed in circles of nobility. Although this feud would normally be far beneath your notice, this could be a golden opportunity to practice my diplomacy. Yes, I have such a good diplomatic skill. We should try this. We will sponsor a meeting. Come before the shadow and we will help. You have invited the two feuding families to a local inn, hoping to reach some kind of agreement. The peasants are seated at two opposing tables on either side of your position in the middle. Some have brought pitchforks, one clutches a live chicken, and all of them look moderately inbred. This could be a challenge. We're not really much of a diplomat. So, when in doubt, let's just flatter them. My friends, you say with a warm smile as you can muster. As warm a smile as you can muster. I think you know why I've called your great families here. As you suffer from this tragic conflict, the entire realm suffers with you. Will soothe their tempers? In a firm but kind voice, you say, many of you are angry, I know. You have every reason to be. Too much blood has been spilled between your families for things to be smoothed over. But there comes a time when one has to look to the future. Now, we could lambaste their childish behavior, and I've been having good luck with the second option. But in this case, I think I'm just going to threaten them with violence. For dramatic effect, you pull out a dagger and stab it into the table with all of your might. Because if you do not, I can assure you that there will be no future for your families. I will personally hunt down every single one of you and make sure that the peasants shout me down. You barely have time to dodge the chickens someone hurls your way. With a howl, the two families leap over the tables and throw themselves at each other with you caught in the middle. Clothes torn and covered in bruises, you eventually manage to crawl out of the inn as the fighting continues inside. Well, I did my best, and we got a diplomacy point out of that. Who saw that coming? I honestly don't know if I had a way out of that. Threaten them with violence or tell them to stop being childish. I think in both those cases, it's going to end poorly. Young Agatha seems to consistently avoid taking any risks. Thought that said tasks. I need to learn how to read. She shouldn't try so hard. We can have her content. So what is she? She's quick, brooding, timid, and an erudite. But as it should be, why not? We'll make you timid. You're not my family, so I don't care. The Duchy of Brandenburg has been created. Was that child a ward of mine? Apparently so. I would like to know how many children I'm educating. Or if I'm educating them at all. Or if that's... I'm fairly confident that it's been established that it's just a formality, the education these days, which would have come in help at the start of the series when my kid became Dutch. But you know what? That's fine. Who are we at war with now, Emperor? Pruthenia. So, really? Them? Really? Let me just pause that. Oh no, we do have a land border. The Empire took a nice chunk of Poland. That's lovely. We've got a dangerous faction. Increased council power in Burgundy. Yeah. That's under laws, isn't it? Council. Okay, you guys want more power? Is that what you're saying? Fine. Any execution will be run past you guys. Happy? I've been spending more time with my wife, Gerberga, lately. And though, of course, we didn't marry for love, I can tell it's growing between us. Wonderful. I'm glad you two are getting along. Let's have another kid. The Lords of Burgundy have approved the institution of the Execution Committee Law. There we go. Does that please you? I gave you guys more power. Yes, good. Get out of here. What? No, wait, that was the other one. I gave you guys more power, didn't I? I thought I did. Odd. Count Manfred has arrested an armed man with ragged armor and a spotty horse. Manfred, you, like me, you are relatively powerful. So... I don't want to lose prestige. You can lose prestige. I don't know who lost prestige there. I mean, it doesn't really matter. We've got plenty of prestige kicking around here. Alright, well, I think I can squeeze in one more section of something exciting, so I will be back when that happens. See y'all in a bit. Alright, so one of the things that I can talk about here, I will just put this back down to speed 3, let the game, ooh, money, I like that. Let the game tick on for a bit. I will also see what I can build here. We're almost done the training grounds. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Finish, 17th of April, almost there. Lovely. Why? I'm confused. There we go. Okay. I think next up we will go for probably the barracks. Let's do that. All right. So one of the additions that has been added to the game are coalitions. So now this isn't a coalition against me. This is a coalition against the Holy Roman Empire. But you can see the Holy Roman Empire has done enough to cause a lot of the northern Italian states, Frisia, a lot of the Nordic states, and a lot of the Eastern European states, as well as a tiny little chunk that indeed looks like Jerusalem. So a little bit there, have all decided that the Holy Roman Empire is to be coalitioned against. So there is currently, as you can see here, a coalition against the Holy Roman Empire, and there are all the members. So a chief, the King of Hungary, the Queen, ill ruler, a doge, Newt the Fat, which is just, he's got to be, are you Newt the Fat? I like that, Newt the Fat. And I'm probably mispronouncing that. I understand. I have a problem with pronouncing simple 3-letter English words every now and then, so, you know. It could be fat or fiat, I don't know. Regardless, I'm not exactly sure how the coalition works yet. I've never been a part of or seen it, so we'll see if that comes back to bite the Holy Roman Empire in the ass. I imagine they'll have to engage in some sort of expansionary war against a member state of the coalition. And it does look like the grabbing of Prussia was relatively successful, and that's likely what caused the coalition to form. So if they're going to go for Pomerania next, I have a feeling they'll be facing quite a few kingdoms that they probably will have no trouble beating down. France is still facing issues, but not big enough to really go after them. It does look like, though, that Genoa is done with their host war. And the land that I want to conquer is free and open. So I think in the next video, we'll finally get some nice land. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you guys are too. On that, I'm going to leave the video here for today. So, thumbs up if you have enjoyed this video. Leave your comments, questions, concerns, thoughts, jokes, musings, what have you below. Thank you all very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.